Hey guys, how's it going? We are back and welcome to part 21 of my Ironman adventure. Now you might be thinking to yourself, Zrenner, the last video in this series you posted was over 6 months ago, and you would be correct. Yeah, it's certainly been a long time waiting. I think ironically in that video I said that the next episode will be coming, which is this episode, fairly soon. 6 months later, it is finally being released. As you saw in the first clip there, I did actually cancel my Slayer tasks of Hellhounds. I was stuck with that Slayer task for a good 2 to 3 months before I decided I just could not do it, so I decided to end my Slayer streak, which actually isn't something I knew how to do, so once I found out about that, I kind of had motivation once again to come back into the series. So I did end up canceling my Slayer task, which takes a little bit of a penalty, but as you're going to end up seeing, that's not actually the only time that I do that in this episode. That's something that I actually used to my advantage quite a few times, because nobody wants to fight Earth Warriors because PKers are dicks and they're absolutely impossible to deal with at this point. But yeah, getting another 200 death runes for taking care of a cat. There's actually a few people who have been asking me that didn't know about this. Definitely if you are not, raise cats, because you can actually get 200 death runes per cat that you raise, and it's a really good way to get death runes, especially before the end game. But yeah, I do go in here, and I think this is my first medium clue, and it was only worth 30,000 gold. So yeah, pretty insane loot there if you ask me. And I do actually manage to get a nice drop here as well on the small lizards, and I actually got a few more of these afterwards. The Mystic Gloves, which is actually a part of the Mystic set, the very iconic magic armor that you always saw people wearing. Yeah, I managed to pick one of those up, which is pretty nice, and it kind of inspired me that I kind of wanted to get the whole set for it, because obviously going into Barrows, a lot of the combat that you use is ranged or magic, and I kind of decided I might commit to magic because the Slayer Dart spell is pretty darn good there. Obviously Iban's Blast is also quite good, so two different options there. Also, take a look at what may be the best easy clue of all time. A full 1,367 gold there. You probably aren't going to find anybody able to top that. Oh god, my clue luck is so awful. I don't think I've had a rare item or a unique to Treasure Trails item at this point from anything. But yeah, do pick up another magic level there. And remember when I said I had to cancel a few more tasks? Well, yeah, you're gonna see the first one here, Green Dragons. I am not about to go put up with the fucking amount of PKers that are camping Green Dragons, kind of just waiting for me to wander in there with my tasty looking loot, my inability to PK, and just completely take me off the face of the earth. So yeah, we go in for another trip to Turiel and kind of explain our situation to him, explain that we are a complete noob and we need to be assigned an easier task. I actually got assigned a spider's task at one point, which was kind of funny, but yeah, we get 20 bats there. Don't know if I'll be able to handle the difficulties of that challenge, but yeah, you can kind of notice the theme. We're actually going for a bit of Slayer here, and that's because after getting the Mystic Glove drop, I kind of decided I was going to try to go for Slayer Dart, and of course you need 55 Slayer to get the Slayer, the staff or whatever it is, Slayer Dart. There's a staff you have to be able to use Slayer Dart, so I kind of decided to go for 55 Slayer in order to get that. I wish I remember the name of it, but yeah, we actually do get our second pair of Mystic Gloves here, which is kind of funny because as you're going to see later in the video, we go on a bit of a dry streak, and anybody who has been watching me on Twitch at all, shameless plug time, I do have a Twitch. Go follow the link in the description below and you'll be able to find it. I do quite a bit of OSRS streaming there. But yeah, for the people who were in the stream, they would have known that I was actually on a significant dry streak at a certain monster trying to get a certain drop. But I won't spoil anything quite yet. That is going to be coming up in a couple of minutes. Also, really want to get enough Slayer points so that I can get the automatic killing blows, or finishing blows, or whatever they're called, because that is really annoying. But now that we're a little bit of the way into the video and I'm kind of just starting on some monotonous Slayer stuff for the next couple of clips, figured I would kind of explain the state of this series to you guys. I'm currently at a point in the game for Ironman where there's a lot of grinding that needs to be done for very few significant things, and when people come to watch these videos, they want to see significant things happening. That's why I record clips as opposed to just long continuous content. Basically, I just don't upload a stream. Obviously, I pick out little snippets that are important and I put them into a video. It's hard to do that when it takes so long to grind out the clips individually, But yeah, I am at a pretty decent point right now. There's a big finale at the end of this video that kind of shows what we're heading towards. Actually, in the previous episode, I kind of explained that we were working towards Barrows, so I can kind of spoil it for you. We do attempt Barrows at the end of this video. I'm not going to really spoil how that goes for you. It could go pretty well, or it could go not very well at all, as any of you who have tried that minigame as an Ironman may know. Definitely resource intensive, which is another problem with this series. It takes a lot of time to just get resources together in order to go for these more exciting things that people definitely want to watch. Obviously, I don't want to just upload content that's me not really doing much, because that's not something people are going to want to watch. Anyways, we are continuing with a little bit of Slayer here, currently sitting on 49, 6 levels away from where we need to be. I actually had to go do a little bit of fire making here, which was a bit interesting. Ended up getting to 26 for the oil lantern, and this was to get into Lumberge Swamp. Now, if you don't know, you are advised to get an oil lantern when going into Lumberge Swamp. Technically, you probably want a bullseye lamp, but I wasn't going to get the 46 or whatever required in order to make one of those. Plus, the crafting level, I believe, was pretty darn ridiculous. And the reason I was actually wanting to go into Lumberge Swamp was, as you can see on screen, to fight wall beasts. And you might be wondering, just why would I want to fight wall beasts? They're definitely not a monster that is kind of highly pursued in this game. I did actually have a Slayer task for it, but ended up staying significantly longer. Got a couple of lamps while I was down there, so I decided to boost it on up to 50 Slayer and make us 5 levels away from where we are looking to go for the Slayer Dart. But yeah, you're about to see probably the longest grind I have done on this account so far. And what I was actually going for here was the Mystic Hat. In the light color. I had the initial ambition to try to get the entirety of the light mystic set, as opposed to just a mismatch of all the different colors. I was going to try to grind that out on my own, because that's the only way you can get it. You can actually get the mystic blue set from the Magic Guild in Yanil, but I kind of wasn't too keen on doing that. I tried to get it all on my own. But actually, it took me 2,000 kills of wall beasts, and then an additional 1,000 kills of basilisks here before I actually got the drop. Yeah, that is 3,000 kills I had to do to fucking get this thing. And anybody who has been in my streams lately will know this, because that's pretty much what I was doing for an entire month, was trying to get this thing. It was kind of ridiculous. I was kind of not trusting the RS Wiki at the end there, but I did end up getting the hat, and I was, as you can see on the screen in the chat right now, I was pretty fucking overjoyed. For most people, it would not be a big drop or anything like that, but for me, it was the culmination of 3,000 kills worth of time, which is a ridiculous thing that I had to do. But yeah, I do get the Mystic Hat here, put it on, and all of my hard work had paid off there, as I have that ridiculous penis-looking hat. We do pick up 66 magic here, which lets us into the Wizard Guild, which is nice because now I can actually go and buy the Mystic Robes like I was kind of hinting at earlier. I had the initial ambition to make them, or get them myself just from drops, but after a while, those 3,000 kills really wiped me out. I didn't really have motivation to do any more kills. Probably could have saved a little bit of money. It ended up costing about 210k in the end for the entire set. But yeah, I was not going to try to do that grind anymore. I actually came to fight troll generals, believe it or not, and this is because I had a clue that required an adamant square shield. I did end up getting that. I don't show the clip for it because it's not that important, but I did get a granite shield, and I did get 50 range, so 2 nice little things there. The granite shield alked for quite a little bit. But yeah, I do finish up my second medium treasure trail here, and we open it up, and 8,000 gold. The clue luck has persisted, kind of noticing a trend there. But yeah, as we do here, we wrap up 55 Slayer. We are now, actually we have everything now that we need in order to get the full Mystic set, which you're about to see on screen, and to get the Slayer Dart staff, and you know what that means, we're actually going to attempt Barrows. I'm sure those of you who have done an Ironman of your own know how big an achievement it really feels to be doing your first boss. boss minigame type thing actually with Barrows, but I do consider it a boss on that Ironman account. So I was pretty proud of myself at this point. This was actually just last night that I was doing this. I do end up and go by the entirety of the Mystic set. Looks a little bit wonky once I have some of the Mystic White and the Mystic Blue on, but I certainly was not complaining. In the end, I think I might actually mix it up and get a little bit of Dragon Hide in there for some better melee defense, especially down in the catacombs and the tunnels, because it's really annoying getting hit by the level 77 skeletons because I'm wearing magic defense, which is not very good against melee, obviously. But yeah, looking pretty good there, and we go down into Barrows, and it's a successful run. Yeah, as you can see here, I do get my tunnel, which was Kirill, and we managed to knock him out as well. I had quite a bit of trouble on a rim just because I was using magic, and obviously he's not weak to magic as he is not wearing any melee armor. But yeah, we managed to get through everything, and when we go into our first chest, it is absolute trash. We get 200 mind and 200 chaos runes, really nothing to write home about. But as this video is wrapping up, guys, I would just like to remind you to like the video if you have enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe if this is your introduction to my channel. And yeah, this series will hopefully be back in full storm pretty darn soon here. I do have another episode coming actually in a couple of days for the Hardcore Ironman. So yeah, 2 series going at once, it feels good, especially for this channel.